We're staying at Ludlow here for race 30, which is a 2 mile 5 furlong handicap, 0-120 over the sticks, the little hurdles. So number 1, Bread and Butter, 2, Punta Diamante, 3, Cloak and Daggers, 4, Judas, 5, Page Turner, 6, Yarpole, 7, Too Much Wine, 8, Field Trip, 9, Barun, and 10, Best Drumming. So just 10 go to post. And the rain's still falling here at Ludlow. And they're away. And one that looks like wants to take the lead is Page Turner. Page Turner's going to lead them into the first flight. He's already a couple of lengths ahead. See no messing around, doesn't like the rain, wants to get back into that stable. So it's Page Turner that takes the first. And we'll skip over that one. So it's Page Turner that leads, although taking a little pull there. As the horse might be running just a tad freely. But it's Page Turner from Best Drumming in the orange. And on the inside of that is Bread and Butter in the grey against the fence. Outside of that is Judas, Yarpole, Too Much Wine. And they'll take the second. Real poor jump there by Yarpole, which has demoted him into last place and allowed Cloak and Daggers to be the penultimate one. So it's Page Turner. Although the jockey having to fight a little bit with it as he's bowling along. He's already 3 to 4 lengths clear now. We're going to the third. We'll skip over that. Nice big jump by Field Trip, slightly wider in the yellow and white silks. Also takes a pull and goes back into the pack. So it's Page Turner by 5 to 6 now from Bread and Butter in second. Then we've got third Judas, and fourth is Yarpole, Best Drumming and Too Much Wine and Field Trip together. And we've got Punta Diamante, Cloak and Daggers on the fence in the blue and red, and then Barun just bringing up the rear in the white silks with a star. So we're 3-4, so over a mile and a half to travel. It's Page Turner still taking the tug. He may have let this horse bowl along a little bit too eager. Let's skip over the fourth. So it's Page Turner that leads by 5 to 6 from the chasing pack, which probably only 3 to 4 lengths between the last and the first there. It's Page Turner takes the fifth. Again, everybody gets over that comfortably. I don't think the flights here at Ludlow are particularly difficult. Conditions might be, but it's Page Turner that leads from Judas in the yellow. And on the outside of Judas is Bread and Butter. And we've got Field Trip. Yarpole's made some better ground now. Best Drumming, Punta Diamante. And there's Too Much Wine. Cloak and Daggers closest to us in the red and blue. And Barun. So it's still Page Turner. We've got a circuit to go. 5, 6 left to jump. And about a mile and a quarter left to run. But still Page Turner bowling along. Seems to have settled a little bit better now. Takes the seventh. And we'll skip over that nicely. So, although the lead just getting shortened a little bit now by 2 to 3 because Page Turner's turned up the gas. But it's still Page Turner that, sorry, it's Field Trip that's turned up the gas on his little Calagas camp stove on his Field Trip. So it's Page Turner that leads by 2 to 3 from Field Trip. And we've got the grey Bread and Butter. Judas in the yellow on the fence. Outside of that is Yarpole. Take the eighth and a really poor down on his nose jump there by Bread and Butter, and he really has been demoted now into the chasing pack. But it's still Page Turner from Field Trip, who doesn't want to take on the lead, from Punta Diamante outside in the white. Then we've got Yarpole, Best Drumming and Judas, the grey Bread and Butter, Cloak and Daggers. Barun's made a little bit of ground out wide, and then Too Much Wine bringing up the rear. May well have had too much wine, feeling the worse for wear. So it's Page Turner that's going to lead them still. One that's making some really good ground up on the inside is Judas alongside the fence. But it's Punta Diamante in second. Then we've got Yarpole, Field Trip, Judas as they skip over that. Bread and Butter making up some ground again from its poor jump in earlier. Then we've got Best Drumming, Cloak and Daggers, Barun, and then Too Much Wine really sticking on and being hurried along. But it's still Page Turner. Been there since the beginning. We've only got 3 left to jump and 4 furlongs left to run. It's Page Turner that leads. Field Trap starts to try and make up the ground, as does Judas and Yarpole, but it's still Page Turner, the grey Bread and Butter, and Punta Diamante also closing the gap. So it's Page Turner. I don't think anything else is going to get into this. It's Page Turner. 2.5 furlongs left to run. Page Turner, Field Trip trying to pull alongside, but Page Turner's still got some gas. They take the 11th. They skip over it well. So it's still Page Turner and Field Trip neck and neck. Bread and Butter trying to close the ground. Then we've got Judas, Yarpon, Punta Diamante. It's between these. Field Trip takes it better than Page Turner there. We've only got one left to jump, and it's definitely Field Trip that's going to take it nice and comfortably. Starts pulling away. Field Trip here from the long time leader Page Turner. Then we've got Punta Diamante and Bread and Butter. The rest of the horses are out of shot, and it's Field Trip that takes it. From Page Turner, Punta Diamante, I think Bread and Butter, Burun was maybe 5th. Let's wait for the connections to come up, and it is a win for Field Trip for Kevin Meanhan. Second was Page Turner, Obi-Wan. Third, Punta Diamante, Darren Thompson. 4, Bread and Butter, Leon Van Rensburg. And 5, Beren for